into this reading. Of course, as always, like we talked about on day one, we're always kind of wondering about what is the purpose, what is the impact that this speaker wants to make on a particular audience. That's always our main focus. But today we're going to be diving into illusion and imagery. So, table of contents, we're going to first review imagery and illusion. Then we're going to read the box man paragraph 8 and get it started. And then you are going to continue reading 8 through 10 on your own. So just really quickly to review the terms, imagery, of course, is the descriptive language that evokes all 5 senses. So this does not have to just be sight. It could be smell, taste, touch, any of them. And then illusion, of course, as a quick reminder, this is a reference to a person, place, or thing that exists, whether real or imaginary, in the world. Okay, so in part 1, just as a quick refresher, Asher introduced the boxman, this homeless person that she sees building a home for himself on the street corner. She uses a ton of positive diction, which creates this very respectful and admiring tone for the boxman and what he's doing. And we still don't quite know yet who her audience is and what impact she wants to have yet, but that'll continue to be something we circle back to, even though we might not figure it out until the very end of the reading. So for our focus today, we're going to look at identifying imagery and illusion. We're going to highlight any instance of imagery and illusion, and we're going to kind of infer the author's intent. You're going to make a comment and explain what you think the author is trying to do by using this imagery or illusion. So let's get started. So I'm going to read out paragraph 8, and then I'm going to only fill out about half of it right now. There are other illusions and imagery instances that you're going to have to figure out for paragraph 8 before reading 9 and 10 as well. So let's get started. When I was a child, my favorite book was The Boxcar Children. If I remember correctly, the young protagonists were orphaned, and rather than live with cruel relatives, they ran away to the woods to live life on their own terms. An abandoned boxcar was turned into a home. A bubbling brook became an icebox. Wild berries proved abundant desserts, and days spent in the happy adultless pursuit of joy. The children never worried where the next meal would come from or what February's chill might bring. They had unquestioning faith that berries would ripen and streams run cold and clear. And unlike Thoreau, whose deliberate living was self-conscious and purposeful, theirs had the ease of children at play. So if you notice, the first thing I did was highlight the Boxcar Children because, of course, this is an illusion. It's something that actually exists in the world. It's a story and a reference to it. And so all the description that follows kind of goes along with that illusion to help explain why the author is citing it in the first place. And so I highlighted it there, a reference that something exists. And I think personally that they made this connection because it goes along with the rest of the paragraph, this idea that back when, the author was younger, when people are younger, when people are children, they have fewer responsibilities. They can live life on their own terms, which this author seems to envy. So that's my hunch why they brought up the Boxcar Children. Then I could have highlighted the abandoned boxcar, which is a really good image, could have talked about running away to live life on their own terms, the cruel relatives. But I highlighted a bubbling brook became an icebox because this really is not just imagery in the sense of it's a sound. It's also imagery in the sense of that is a cool temperature. And so there are 2 of the 5 senses that are used there. And it also makes me think that nature is providing for the children. And maybe we rely too much on society when nature may be able to provide us the things that we need. So for the rest of the paragraph, make sure that you continue to look for, there's at least 2 more instances of imagery and at least 1 more of an illusion. So make sure you're able to highlight those and annotate, and then continue on into paragraph 9 and finish with paragraph 10. All right, so as I just mentioned, on your own right now, you're going to complete paragraphs, the rest of paragraph 8 and all the way through 10. Make sure you highlight imagery or illusions and create a comment that explains what you think the author might have meant and why they included that imagery or that illusion in these paragraphs. So do you have any questions? Please feel free to reach out. My number is 440-670-6979. Office hours Tuesday and Thursday, 1 to 2 p.m. But I'm pretty much available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. However, there has been a small issue with connecting to the internet, so if I don't respond to an email right away, that's probably the reason. Phone's probably a better way to get a hold of me quicker. That said, though, please reach out if you got any questions, and we'll continue to look through the Boxman next week. Have a good one.